Hello everyone, Maury Curtis Dunbar here with Painted Studio. Welcome back. It is Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Oh, jeez. Can't even keep track of the days. It's Wednesday. We are working on Christmas projects. I'm so excited. We're going to be working on our advent calendar that we picked up at Michael's and primed black. So that's our project today while we go live. Friendly reminder, our contest ends today at 5. So if you have not submitted your entry, please go back to last Tuesday's video, not yesterday's, week ago yesterday, Cups and Contests. Enter a picture of something that you've created that is fall, autumnal, Halloweenish. It can be a photograph, it can be a painting, it can be a sculpture, it can be whatever you'd like. But please go and post a picture of it on that thread under that video before 5 o'clock today. 1 entry per person. All the instructions on that contest are right there. We are going to end the contest at 5. Tomorrow morning we will show you who our top winners are. Our committee will go over it tonight. We'll pick our top 4. And then tomorrow at 5 o'clock, we'll be doing a drawing, a blind drawing out of a bucket. Out of one of those 4 top selections is going to be the number or the winner. Rima, I think you put your pumpkin in, so I think you've got it in the right place. Everybody, again, go back to Tuesday's video, Cups and Contests. So please go back there and check because we want you to be able to have a shot at winning this. We like it when you win. It's fun. So please, the more people that enter, the better the contest is. So please go back to last Tuesday's Cups and Contests, follow the directions, and do not you don't do fall or Halloween decor. Oh, Joy, no! But you do such cool stuff. All right. So let's get back into what we're going to do today. Now, I showed you this yesterday. I picked this up at Michael's. The price on it was $14.99, but of course, you always get a lot of discounts. I think I paid $8.99 for this once all the discounts were applied. So we primed it with SetCoat Black while you were watching yesterday. And then today I have put Artsyville foil adhesive on most of it. I'll do the front, but I can't do the front until I foiled the back. Why? Because it's 2 sides and I can't keep that clean. So I want to make sure we're going to go in the right direction with this and keep it all from being messed up. I haven't decided if I'm going to keep this one or if I'm going to sell it. We'll figure that one out later. So we're going to flip this down and we're going to foil the back of this and then we're going to discuss applying adhesives and stuff like that on this kind of wood. So the first thing I want to do, now that I've got my foil adhesive on here, I'm going to take a piece of foil, and this particular house is going to be all silver and gold. I'm not doing any color. I want to go a little more classic, a little more elegant with this than I normally do. Normally I do very bright and colorful, but I think today I want to just kind of tone it down a little bit. I'm looking for my scissors, which of course I've misplaced, so let me grab another pair. I only have, and of course now that I've stood up, walked around, got another pair, I found the pair I couldn't find before. So yay for me and my scissor depositing of everything around here. All right, so we're going to start. This is our dappled gold foil, and we're going to place that on here. Smooth it with our hands, or with, there's no our hand, it's my hand. I'm smoothing it with my hand to get it on the back. And you can see there's little things sticking up here. This is inexpensive wood. It will have, all these little things are, let me show you on the drawers. See all these little squares, bumps that are showing up there? You know what those are? Those are the laser cut lock-in places that are made for assembling this. So there's little square spots. At first I thought it was just dust, but then I realized, no, those are the laser cuts. Little pegs to hold it together. All right, so I'm going to take my brush, go across. Let's see how that released. That's nice. It did very well. It's not the foil that I was concerned with the release on. It's the problem wasn't the foil. The issue was going to be the surface. Because we're dealing with inexpensive wood, you can get really strange release from that because things can blow grain or they soak up product. I've had cheap wood soak up everything I was applying, and then I had to do like adhesive several times over it. So I'm just going to release a little more to make sure I filled in the blanks. This is the back, so I just want it to look nice and tidy. One little spot there. There we go. So look how nice that looks on the back. Very clean, very elegant, and yet still a little rustic. So that's really pretty. And we're going to go down the sides with the same foil. Now, I don't know how much of this foil that I've got from doing the back of the house I'm going to get any good use out of doing this. There's not much usable space. I'm going to flip that up so you can see what I'm doing. There we go. So I've got the foil right here on that top tier piece. Not as easy a release right there because the wood is a little coarser from the way it was hewn. Let's see if I can get a little better. It gets better. You can go back over and fix it. So, and this is one of these things that happens. These are inexpensive wood items, and they can create a little bit of a rough surface that you have to work with. And I just threw a drawer. I threw a bunch of little drawers. Joy, thank you. And I see something else. Susan, thank you. Hey, Jenny, nice to see you here too. All right, so I'm going to just get all the little spots that didn't get a good release on the first pass, and then I've got to cut a fresh piece because there's just not enough foil on this for me to do the rest of the side. But see, now you can see the transformation from the black to the gold. I'm very happy with how that looks. That's good. Come on. Some days the foil wants to let go easily, sometimes it doesn't. I could use a bigger scissors, but that would be too practical. All right, so I'm gonna try to keep this to the camera, but it's an awkward angle for me to do that, so we're just gonna do the best we can with this. Get up in there with my finger. I can see that one spot didn't grab. Oh, that one released nicely. I'm now making up words that are appropriate for what I'm doing because I don't know where I got reduced. All right, let's get the bottom part here. Nice release on that, and we're going to do the other side. So I've got do I have enough? I think I have enough just to do, actually I have enough to do just the middle tier, believe it or not. It's the right size to fit right there. So there are little spots, it's a little spotty right there. I'll just come back in. See if I can release a little with my fingernail. Sometimes that's all it takes, is just a little scrape with the fingernail. Yeah, that's working. I just gotta find the spots that need a little fill-in. I've been trying to write off my fingernails as a business expense for years. Anybody who wears acrylics in this kind of industry knows that we use them as tools as much as personal fashion items. Okay, we got that. We need a little more of this, and then we got to move on to the front. That. I really love how SetCoat smoothed out and leveled out on this surface. It just, even on the ickiest, roughest surfaces, SetCoat is simply amazing. Nice. That's good. Okay. I have things sticking to spots on here. Geez, that's never happened before. Too many things with foil adhesive and not enough room. I can't imagine how I could have possibly made that happen. All right. I do need to get in here, shift a few things, get up under the eave. I could not get my brush all the way in there. And we do still have these undersides to get done. But now that I've foiled the sides, I can set them on their side like that and actually make something happen. All right, so now I just got that one little spot to do. And I'm not worried about doing these spots because these really aren't visible, but this one is because it's so much more of it exposed. So I still have to make sure that that spot looks really good. And again, this is our dappled gold foil. Flip my plate over out of the way. That's all right, I'll get it later because I'll need it. I'm so graceful. I swear that's why you all watch me. You see much of what I knock over next. Sometimes that's what I watch me for too. All right, so I've taken my fingernails, shoved it in on the edges as tight as I can. And then I need my little, I'm gonna take my toothbrush, I think. Nice. And a little spot right there that needs a little attention. Fixed. Okay, now we're gonna get this side. Sorry, I gotta aim it to me because I have to line it up. Be well burnished in there. Yep, pretty good. Just a few spots to fix where the foil crunched. There we go. Great. Things are sticking in places I didn't know they could even stick. I guess I didn't notice that I had done the bottom edge of this earlier. So I'm going to go back and foil those edges because clearly they're sticking to things, so they need to be foiled. Okay, so we got all of that done, and you can see that was fairly quick. We're not doing stencils on this. We're not going too crazy on this. So let's flip this down so you can see me. Get me aimed in here correctly. And I'm gonna make sure the light's on here. All right, let's get the plate that I flipped on the floor. So here's my plate. I'm using Jennifer Ferguson's technique of a sticky plate, specifically because I just opened a brand new quart, and this is a way simpler way to handle this. So I've been using this plate all day today. I have a mister. I'm just gonna take a little and spritz it on the surface because it wants to dry up. And we're gonna cover this area, and we're gonna talk about that, and then I'll foil some drawers for this. So when I do this, this wood, even after 2 coats of SetCoat, even after sanding and everything else, it can want to suck in the foil adhesive, and probably by the time I get down to the bottom, this will be dried clear, and that's too fast. So I am putting on 2 thin coats of adhesive instead of 1 heavier one, because the first one does the final bit of sealing up that I need to have happen, and then the second one makes sure it's good and sticky. Now it's not required on everything. I've just found that some projects like this, it works best. And try to make sure, just so you know, while I'm doing this, try not to get the glue into the openings. You could use a little roller across this surface, it would work just as well. But if you get glue in here and then it's not foiled, your drawers are gonna stick, so you don't want that. So I'm just gonna brush this on. Son's been here all day with me. It's been lovely. He's disassembled our fall window and Halloween goodies, and we're starting decorating for the Christmas window tomorrow, which is kind of why I'd like to get something like this done, or as close to done as possible today, so that I can put it in the window. And of course, as always, if you see something that I'm painting that's not already claimed for a specific client, it's for sale. Just send me a message. I'll get it to you. All right, we're getting there. The SetCoat makes this spread nicely even when it is kind of sucking into the wood. And this is, you can see I've thinned this. I'm just misting it regularly because it's a little thicker and drier. I'm okay with this first layer being thin, even if I lose some of its adhesive properties, because it's also giving me the base that I'm going to put. I will be putting a second layer of foil adhesive. I don't know what that was, but I was getting a spam risk call and I turned off my notifications. I actually did that today. So you can see I'm sticking my fingers in there just to make sure that I'm cleaning up my edges. I don't want blobs anywhere, and I don't want it gathering up in the corners of the openings or anything. And I am using an artist brush. I do use artist brushes on most things. Now, I know that's not everybody's choice, but it is mine. I'd rather pay the money for a couple good artist brushes that I will keep in my roll for years than constantly replace cheap brushes. If you take care of your brushes, they take care of you. You can tell I got that phrase from an old guy in the business. I have worked with some characters in my career. I'm not sure if any of you are familiar with the Japanese architect Ando. He did a lot of houses. I don't know what he's doing now because I haven't worked on one of his houses in many years, but almost 25 years ago, it was not long after my son was born, and his 25th birthday is coming up. I took a job working on an Ando house. And Ando at that time, his designs were a lot of panned concrete, meaning the concrete was put in a pan, shaken to settle it and create a smooth surface, and then used as building blocks. So it was really cool, except that that panning process and then the subsequent honing of it left air bubbles on the surface, very small. And so I was hired as part of a crew of artists and painters to come in and mix fly ash and potash and all kinds of other stuff to match the colors of the holes, because this is how OCD this was. Well, I worked for a bunch of guys who were with a concrete company. They weren't artists. And so they'd only let, those of us who were doing the hole filling mix up like one color of one kind of cement, and we'd fill a hole. Well, obviously that wasn't blending it, so the holes would show, it's like trying to patch a little tiny glaze spot without taking into account the rest of the wall. So yeah, I did that for 3 months. And it was the most annoying job because literally we'd fill all the holes in the morning in one room. We'd work on them. And then the job director would come to my boss and say, no, that's not good enough. And so we'd have to drill all the holes out again. I spent 3 months filling and drilling out and filling and drilling out the same damn holes. It was unbelievable. They finally let all the American painters go. I had quit before this, but about a month later, they let all the American painters go. We're bringing in a team from Tokyo and to do it the way Ando wanted it done, because the problem was he was working with building contractors who weren't artists, and the artists weren't allowed to do their work as Americans. And we were like, oh, he's not gonna like it. We're telling you he's not gonna like it. And too many chiefs, not enough Indians on that one. Too many chefs spoiling the soup. Whatever phrase it is that you want to use that implies that there were too many bosses and not enough people actually doing the work, so the workers were getting confused. That's part of the reason I quit. That and the fact that I sat on a scaffold one day doing my job, and they didn't know I was there, and I heard that they were cutting payroll off at the end of that week, and nobody was going to get paid for the next month. So I took my paycheck and left. All right, so now I've got that painted, and as I said, you could see that the bottom's milky white and the top is turned dark. So I'll demo this right now, and I'll finish it later. You don't need to watch me do this whole thing again. I'm gonna come back in with a second coat of our foil adhesive and that will give me the level of adhesion that we need. That's what I did on the sides. It worked very well. And I'm going to just do it to here so that I have a cutting off point that I can recognize. It's very important when you cut things off, you know, when you stop in the middle of something, you know where you stopped. For me, I'm just stopping at the end of this first tier of the tree. And I'm going in the direction of the grain of the wood, which makes the application much easier. Gotta clean that edge up just to make sure there's no blobs. Okay, so I'm gonna set that aside for now. Put that over here. And then we'll look at some of the drawers. Now, you can see I put the foil adhesive on these. They kind of got stuck together as I was knocking them around a minute ago. And we're going to use our antique mirror foil, which is the silver version of the dappled gold. Come on, come on. Of course the tape doesn't want to come off nicely. And I just use this roll to send out an order, so the tape is, I must have been really aggressive putting the tape on. I don't know why it wouldn't come off otherwise. Just so you remember, these are not fabric-friendly foils that I'm using. These are from VMask. If you're not familiar with VMask, just know that they don't make foils that you can use on fabrics. They won't hold up. They won't give you a good result. You will not be happy. Okay, so I cut a piece this big, but I'm not working with it. These pieces are too small. I want to make my life a little easier and just cut some foil strips. Actually, now that this VMask likes to roll back like that, okay, I'm going to take advantage of it and just cut a bunch of little strips. There we go. Well, that made my life simpler. Let's do that. And I did put double adhesive on these as well. Now I have to work out my application method so that I get the nicest result, and this may not be it. I may be doing it a little differently than I was thinking I was going to do. Fortunately, this is not a directional foil, so I can just shift the piece around to fit wherever I need it to fit. Okay, so this is where the drawer is going to go. So we had the silver, the gold body, and the silver drawers. Look how cute that is. We'll do a few of these. Let me scroll up and see if anybody has any questions. Okay. Let me take a look back here. Joy, let me know if you want, they do have these trees. I don't know if they sell them one at a time on Michael's or not. If they don't, when you place your next order from me, reach out to me and I'll see if I can go and get them from the store and add it to your order. You know, there'd be a little surcharge for that for me to go chase it down. Otherwise, if there are enough people interested, I will find out if I can bring them in bulk. And you guys can order them from me. But definitely check your Michael's locally, because you might get them there faster too. And they have all kinds of coupons that I won't be able to apply. So look how cute that is. And I did put foil right on the edges. I'm not going to do the inside of the drawers. I'm not going to do the sides. If I want to do a little something on the sides, I'll take one of my stamps. I have a lot of Christmassy stamps, you know, ink stamps, and I'll stamp the side of the drawer, because I don't want to take the chance of putting lots and lots and lots of moisture on all these thin pieces of wood and having it warp. Let's see. Susan, I wish I could get them to you in the UK too. Let's see. Yeah, Susan, unfortunately, I know you're back on lockdown. And Susan, reach out to me. I'll see what I can find out for you about getting it if you can't get it there. Art Minds Advent Tree. Yes, you looked it up on Michael's website. Great, that is it. It's Art Minds. So hopefully you guys can get it. Let's see, everything's going on. Oh, yes, it is coming out really nicely, Susan. These foils look so pretty. And this is going to make such an elegant piece on a mantelpiece. Now, again, I'm going to hold these up because I haven't foiled them yet, but they will be foiled. Look how elegant that would all be together in the golds and silvers. That would be so pretty. And I'll probably do silver on trees and things like that, but we're going to keep it very... instead of as colorful as I've done everything, we might do this set just very color neutral. Joy, you're always cooking when I'm on. I don't know how you do that, sweetie. You cook more than I know. I think you cook more than I know how to cook. Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you all. This is so nice. All right, let's go back to foiling. I think I've answered all your questions. So we'll go back to our little drawers, and then I might even pop one of the drawers in the front of the tree. Of course, I won't shove it all the way in because there's adhesive on there. But I want to take a look and see how I'm looking against my surface. So I'm going to try, instead of plopping it on the center, let me put my camera angle back down. So instead of plopping the foil on the center and fighting this little knob, I'm going to try to wrap it around, and then I'll get the knob at the end. Just because I don't like that, the way it will crush the foil up and make it look weird. I'd prefer a little more uniform release. Yeah, that works very well. That's working very, very well. Now, I know I'm just showing you the knob and everything foiled. I actually have plans for the little knobs on here, and this is going to be very cute. So be patient. That'll be done. But I'll have this finished. If it's not done by the end of tonight, we'll be finishing it online tomorrow. Y'all get to keep me company. I know you miss me when I'm not on. At least that's what I tell myself. So I'm just getting those little edges because I did put a little foil adhesive around the edge of everything, just because I like that little bit of finish. If I'm not going to do anything else with the rest of the drawers, I want at least the front and the sides finished on the drawer front. And now I'm not going to make you sit here and watch me apply foil to 25 drawers. I think you all will have gone to sleep if I made you do that. But I just want to put a couple in to see how I like the look. Now I will be very clear with you. Once I put my foil adhesive on, the paint on and everything, this morning I came back, I sanded all the rough edges before I did another single thing. I wanted to make sure all that popped grain was handled, and because I didn't want a rough, nasty edge on things. I wanted it to be smooth and more sophisticated looking. Now these weren't that hard to deal with. That really didn't have that much of an issue with that. But some of the letters that, this little word signs. Oh, good night, Susan. Thank you for popping in. So now I've got that on there like that. That's very cute. Okay, we're going to take our little tree back. I'm going to flip the camera up, and this is sticky as day is long in front, so I will not be sticking my drawers all the way in. So that already, just look how cute. Or do all 25 drawers. Oh my God, Jenny. You know, that's how you lose followers, by keeping them on, making them watch foil drawers. But see how cute those look in the silver? And they'll look really lovely against the gold. So I'm I gotta be careful to take them out and not push them back against the adhesive so I don't ruin the hard work that I've done. And I think we're gonna do one more thing. And then I gotta put more adhesive on stuff. Okay, let's see if these are dry yet. Okay, these were the words that we did yesterday. I have put foil adhesive only on the letters and the support part of the structure. But if you look really close, the texture's kind of coarse, because even after I painted 2 layers, sanding in between, even with all the effort, the moisture still wants to pop grain on these. So you're going to have to accept that these may look a little rough. And I have been in here and I have sanded and sanded and sanded. I have all kinds of tools. I took one of these, which is an emery stick for your cuticles, but it's all got emery board on the end, so I could go in and up in here and clean. Doesn't matter. These inexpensive things will still like to pop the grain. So just to make you aware of that. All right, we're gonna do, I just happen to have some of this cut because I cut an incorrect piece for an order earlier. So that works out to my benefit. I can use it here. We're gonna use our red glitter stars foil. Let me flip it back down a little bit so you can see better. And I think the easiest, let's not get the red glitter foil on the drawers that I don't want it on. Let's slide things back a little bit. So I'm gonna set this right at the edge of the table, and there's a reason. This has a lip around it. So if I set this to the edge of the table like that, then I've got it stuck to the back side, and I can fold it over and do the front side. Now this may be a very erratic, very coarse looking release. I'm prepared for that. That's okay. I will embrace it however it releases and move forward from there. No, I don't like that little brush. It's taking me too long. Let's get a little more aggressive on this. And before I pull the foil out, I've still got to go over and scrub this side. So I'm making sure I have scrubbed the foil on both sides. And you know what? I'm just going to go over the tips of the stuff with my fingers on here to release whatever I can get released on the very tops of the letters. I'm gonna have to go in, I'm gonna have to get the edges around the sides. I know that, not a problem. But that release is cute. Look at my little red shiny Santa. And looking close, you will see it is a flawed and broken release. I'm not gonna spend any time fighting to make that perfect. I like this for this. I knew that the wood was going to be coarse. I knew I was going to have some really strange release on it. So I'm embracing that instead of fighting it. I'm just going to try to get some foil shoved in around the edges. So you can see, let's see if I can get an angle on this for you all to see. If I get the light. If you look right in here, it does not look smooth. That's because this is where the cut edge is. So it's going to stay coarse looking, just like right there. That's not going to get smooth and pretty with a second layer of adhesive and that second layer of foil. That is what it is. You need to embrace your product and you need to embrace your surface to understand the pluses and the limitations. All right, so I think we're probably done for the day. Flip this up. There we go. That's still a little low. You're still cutting off the top of my head and looking in my chin. So this was very cute. I'm loving how this is coming out. Again, don't forget, the contest ends in 45 minutes. Go back to last Tuesday's video, not yesterday's, a week ago yesterday. Go find that cups and contest video. If you have items that you have done that are fall, autumn, Halloween, whatever that for this season that you yourself have done. It does not have to be foiled. It doesn't have to be something that you purchased from me that you've made. It doesn't have to be anything like that. I want to see just your wonderful fall creativity, sculptures, set designs, paintings, furniture, anything that's got a fall or Halloween flair to it. I would like to see you post it and on that thread. And then tonight we're going to, by committee, we're going to pull the top 4, and the top 4 are going to be put into a blind drawing tomorrow at 5. And whoever's name I pull out of that blind drawing is the winner. And you will receive, where did I put it all? I put it all back there. You're going to receive a beautiful paper mache pumpkin with leaves on it that's about this big. You're going to receive 4 ounces of Artsyville foil adhesive. You'll receive a base paint, enough to cover the pumpkin, and you'll receive several foils and some glitter so you can create a pumpkin of your dreams. All right, everybody, have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.